How's it going, every pony? Heather Feathersong here once again, and my goodness, it's been a crazy ride. First, that collab took way too long to produce. I'm really sorry about that. We not only got carried away, but I got caught up in other things. Still, that's not all that happened. It's thanks to Mr. DeWilstonator that activity in my channel jumped. So many subscribed in so little time, and it's mind-blowing! So I'm going to have to work harder to keep them and only get better. Until then, this has been a long time coming. 4 months. And again, I am so sorry about that. The next video, I promise, will come out by the end of this month. Without further ado, it's time to answer some questions. First round of questions is from username FromPay. Let's see what they asked. Congrats on the 400 subscribers. Aw, thank you. Though it's close to 800 now. Ah! Here's some questions I've got for ya. Lay 'em on me, bro. Or chica. Whatever you are. What's your favorite season of MLP so far? Well, let's see. Favorite season. That's a tough one. I'd have to say it's a tie between Season 4 and Season 5. Season 2 definitely had some amazing episodes. But I feel Seasons 4 and 5 had an advantage because they had the knowledge of what they could get away with. There was just so many great moments, and essentially, we were all worried about Twilight being a princess and how that would change. At first, it didn't seem like any change. But even when little things did get brought up, not enough to steer away from what we loved about Twilight and her dynamic with the main six. It's really hard for me to pick just one, so it's a tie. Who is your favorite Friendship is Magic villain and why? Well, that is easy. Adagio Dazzle all the way. She's amazing. She's such a great villain. I guess it all comes down to that she reminds me so much of Azula from Avatar The Last Airbender, right down to having a gloomy girl and Airhead as lackeys. The greatest difference is, well, Adagio is more seductive. Yeah, that's weird for me to say, given Equestria Girls, despite being for a more older audience, is still aimed at a younger demographic than Avatar was. Even so, I gotta give it to Adagio. She's just too amazing for words. You mentioned Let Your Inner Writer Out. Have you written any original stories or fanfictions? Well, that is actually very correct. I am working on original projects that I've been dabbling into for years. I even have concept art of characters of my own creation and have friends helping me develop them. But I won't reveal what it's about just yet. I'm still trying to put it all together. And when it comes to fanfictions, well, yeah, I have them. But I'm not telling you. Seriously, I self-inserted myself into a few of them. Not good memories. Pony-wise, though, I had 2 concepts that I actually really wanted to do. Problem was, the show kept advancing faster than I could fix it to fit. I even went out of my way to develop OCs. And trust me, I'm not a big fan of OCs much, but I was actually really proud of how they turned out. So, you know what? If anyone is curious about the characters and stories I wanted to do, let me know in the comments and I might make a video all about it. Now for your final and excruciating question. Why is my OC so adorable? Aw, shucks. You're gonna make me blush. Don't know why I did a southern accent right there. Well, I would answer, but 2 other people also asked about my OC, like this one here. Solid Mario 64 asked, question for the Q&A, what was the concept idea behind your OC's design and why go with a Pegasus? Story time! Back when I first got into the fandom and did projects, I wanted to try podcasting at the time. I was trying everything. 3 of us decided it'd be cool to be like the Crusaders. Originally, I actually wanted to be an Earth pony. But I figured no one else would want it and gave the guys the first pick. An Earth pony was taken right away. So I went with a Pegasus. This is actually the original Sona of mine. You might recognize her from the banner on Bogal Bronies. But as I moved forward, I decided she needed a makeover, including a new cutie mark, considering it looks really similar to another certain critics. I guess, to be fair, I could have made her an earth pony when making her over, but as I thought about it, a Pegasus does fit me. Even now, as an adult, for some reason I just have this yearning and desire to be able to fly into the sky on my own. I dreamt about it so much as a kid. And considering my mom used to call me Heather Featherbed, ugh, I just can't believe I revealed that in public. It just really works. So I went to a friend of mine and he developed her for me, but I chose the new colors, becoming a lighter pinkish purple and changing the mane from silver to white with a pink hue. The reasoning is simple. These are the same colors as the flower which I'm named from, the heather plants. Aren't they pretty? Only thing that's the same is the race, eye color, and I could not do it with a butterfly hair clip. A friend of mine for my birthday then designed a new cutie mark, and another friend made it even more awesome. And that was how Heather Feather Song was born. Alright, let's move on to... oh my goodness. Okay, this commenter not only asked questions, but also gave their own input. I would read the whole thing and comment back, but I do want to save time. So, sorry dude. I do find your ideas interesting though, if it's any consolation. YouTube, all I want to do is watch a video, stop making me update, ask the following questions. What new type of animal would you want to introduce to the show? Interesting question. Personally, I did hear there was supposed to be plans for deer, so I'd love to see what the deer look like. Otherwise, I kind of want to just see Zikora's home country. I'm really interested in the predators, believe it or not. Is it like Zootopia, and do they find a meat substance that isn't sentient? Or are even the predators vegetarian, seeing as griffins are all predator races as well, but seem to eat fruit and the like? But those kind of questions I feel can be answered by looking at Zikora's home. Do you think we will see Mira Pinky again, in reference to Season 6, Episode 9? If so, what kind of episode could they do with her considering what Twilight did to all the other clones? Well, honestly, I do not. I feel it was just a gag and nothing more, and I honestly have no interest in that kind of thing for the show. I'm in the group that doesn't want to get more adult than the Season 5 premiere. That's about as far as I want for this. With how many kids shows are pushing boundaries and making not just kids but adults think, we need shows like MLP to give viewers a mental break. Also, Mira Pinky, Daring Do, and Secret Agent Sweetie Drops all have horseshoe/omega symbols on things they own. Do you think these things might be related? Again, it might just be Easter eggs for the audience that won't amount to anything down the line. So, no, I don't think they are related. And if they are, well, I hope it's nothing big. Again, I don't mind reading fanfics with a more mature plot, but not for the show itself. I say it needs to stay lighthearted with a tasteful amount of drama that isn't going far from the original idea. Applejack has pigs on her farm. She also says she makes gumbo. Gumbo has been known to be made with pork. What is your take on this, especially since they already use cow milk and chicken eggs in their diets? Oh, would you look at this! A nice vegetarian recipe for gumbo from foodnetwork.com! Hopefully you don't take offense, but you can make gumbo out of anything. It's not the meat that makes a gumbo. It's the spices. A staple in all Louisiana cooking. Without those discerning mix of spices, it's not a gumbo, it's a regular stew. I don't think that hard on the diet habits, considering if they didn't use milk and eggs, then that would mean all the baked goods in Equestria are vegan. I mean, no offense to those that are, but I personally have yet to have a good vegan dessert in my life. And finally, YouTube related. What do you think of YouTube removing the ability to make paragraphs and format when you type in the YouTube comment section, like what is going on with mine? Now, this was a long time ago, so hopefully they fixed it for you by now. But still, in all honesty, I've never had that problem to begin with, so I have no real answer because it's never been an issue. Sorry. Alright, moving on to the next one, and oh! It's Starry! Hey girl! Starryflame01 has asked me, best OTP? Best OTP in the show or in all forms of fiction? If you're talking the latter, well, I do have an OTP, the best OTP, but you're gonna have to wait till February to find out. Otherwise, in the show, man, I don't ship too often, but for some reason, I am drawn to Twijack. I don't know, there's just something I like about it. They are similar yet different in the two leaders, so it kind of makes sense. I also am a casual dipper into Celestia, so Yeah, that's about it. Which is the episode you feel most connected to? Which one is the least? Girl. Girl, seriously? Why are you asking this? Why? Do you know how hard that is picking an episode like that? God, I don't know, so many! Like Apple Family Reunion, and Less Than Zero, and all that stuff. There's just too many to pick. I can tell you easily my least connected to. Though Bats was my most hated episode, Feeling Pinky Keen is one I feel the most uncomfortable and do not wish to partake in again. For reasons you can see why in the video. It's more personal, and I really don't want to watch it again. Which character do you feel least connected to, and why? Same with most connected. Least connected to? Well, I guess pretty much everyone but Twilight and Applejack. There are some things I can get behind, like Rainbow's loyalty, wanting to make people happy like Pinky, generosity and giving to others like Rarity, and I don't really branch out to others like Flutters. But Twilight and Applejack display these same qualities, and in ways that I see a lot more in myself. I'm not awkward because I'm shy, I'm just not the biggest fan of people, much like Twilight was in the beginning. But I do love my family, and I'm always thinking of how things can benefit them, like Applejack. Overall, I feel connected to them the most due to their fear of failure and constant expectations set on them, and then feeling even more like a failure when those expectations are not met. No lie, remember those tests to see which pony you're like of the main 6, and it shows the graph at the end where you place with each personality? I have gotten 50-50 of Twilight and Applejack, so those two definitely are the most influential in terms of relatability for me. Alright, next we have some questions from John Anthony 702. Who is your favorite out of the main 6? Oh good, some easy questions. Applejack, all the way, best pony. Anyone who says differently is valid in their opinion, but anyone who calls her a background pony in my presence can just walk out right now. Do you like DC or Marvel? Cinema-wise, Marvel all the freaking way. I love Marvel because they have, in my opinion, the better heroes. Now, animation-wise, with shows like Teen Titans, Young Justice, and some of the movies, DC does have them beat. Though Marvel has some good animated stuff, they don't have as much for an older audience. But still, I gotta give it to Marvel, if not for Robert Downey Jr. alone. Oh, how I love a sassy man. Who is your favorite villain out of all of them? If you mean in overall fiction, that is a tough one that I need to think long and hard of. Top 10 favorite villains list might be good. But show-wise, as I said, Adagio Dazzle. She's just awesome. If you had a spirit animal, what would you want it to be? What would I want it to be? Well, in that case, a wolf, because they are my favorite animals. They are just so pretty. But more than likely, it's probably an owl or something. A black cat would be cool too, though. So any of those 3 are fine with me. If you had a superpower, what would you want it to be? Oh, a tough one. As I mentioned, flying is a power I've always wanted, and I don't know why, I'm just so drawn to it. But there is also another I would like. I don't know if I'm just weird, but there are times when I'm in a car and look out and just kind of try to imagine what everything looked like before the settlers came. The ability to travel through time would be awesome, though knowing me, I would probably be tempted to mess with time. If there was a chance to fix any mistakes, though, then I would maybe see what good and bad would come from it. Do you like Star Wars? I am sorry to say, my friend, but I have not seen it and have no interest in doing so. It's been parodied so much that I just kind of feel like I know the gist of it, and that there will be no further surprises. So, yeah, sorry. Okay, this is one of the last group questions. Alright. From Doughboy123X, he has the following to ask. Would you want to see your OC as an Equestria girl? I actually have my OC as an Equestria girl. Ta-da! I commissioned the talented Yokokinawa for this awesome reference sheet here. However, this is just one design. If you are offering to design my OC in some way, go right ahead, I'd love to see it! Otherwise, yeah, here it is. I look so cute. Do you watch other cartoons outside of My Little Pony Friendship is Magic? Oh god, yes. In fact, gonna be honest, MLP isn't my favorite anymore. It's still in my top 10, don't get me wrong, but there are tons of great shows now. Gravity Falls, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, We Bare Bears, the Avatar series. I dabble in Adventure Time once in a while, go back and watch some oldies like Gargoyles and Hey Arnold, and of course, tons of anime, like DBZ and Danganronpa. And can't forget, Steven Universe. All shows that I plan to talk about in some way in the near future. Have you seen any of the previous generations of My Little Pony? No, I have not. I was born in the 90s, so by the time I was old enough to kind of be at the point of remembering what I watched, I was done with most girl shows. I watched Pokemon, Digimon, the 4Kids TMNT, X-Men Evolution, Challenge Showdown, etc. And I really have no desire to go back and watch either. You say that you're not too good at video games because you don't have the reflexes and hand coordination to do well. But what about puzzles/adventure games that rely more on your brain than your fingers? I guess. I mean, in the long run, I'm just not a gamer. I prefer watching others like Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. Anything with a good story is what catches my attention. But, who knows? And finally, can I just say that your OC looks absolutely beautiful? Oh, you flatter me. All right, next up is, Miss Bunny's one. Hey! For those that don't know, she's like my best friend, and she presented 2 questions. What got you interested in voiceover in the first place? Well, as I mentioned earlier, I'm a bit of a writer, and when I write, I sometimes create voices for my characters. Plus, I've just always loved cartoons, so it seemed like a perfect fit. As much as I love acting, I'm self-conscious physically, so it works. There's a little more to it, but I'll discuss that another time. Would you ever consider playing Dust in Elysian Tale? Oh, gee! I wonder why you suggested that game. Couldn't possibly be due to the fact you're in it now, would it be, my dear? I actually answered this in person when I visited her, but I guess I can say it again. Nope. Sorry. Just looking at plays, I can tell I die way too much. But for those that aren't horrible at games, take a look and give the game some love. Alright, let's see. Oh, shoot. Solid Mario posted again. Should have grouped him. Oh well. Too lazy to fix it. He asked, would you try Undertale or Left 4 Dead 2? Again, this was a long time ago, so by now you probably know that I am playing Undertale. However, I'm not sure if I'll continue doing Let's Plays of it. If you guys want to see more, let me know in the comments below. But if you don't care or think it's worth it and, feel like I should just not play anymore, also let me know. I won't be offended either way. 'Cause, yeah, spoiler alert, I am terrible. I didn't die against Papyrus. I died against a much weaker character. Oh, jeez. As for Left 4 Dead 2, there was a time I did try it after seeing Team 4-Star do Let's Plays of it. Then and also friends have been wanting me to get into TF2. So I downloaded Steam, gave it a try, and oh my god, even at easy, I was dying left and right in the first few minutes. The controls were weird, the first person made me dizzy and disoriented. I just was not doing well. So those kind of games, Left 4 Dead, TF2, any of them, I won't dabble into again. Alright, next, we got a question from Yuomi? I'm really sorry if I screwed up the name. What got you interested in My Little Pony? Well, it's not a long story, however, I think I'll wait until the next video. I discovered MLP in a different way, and the next video is a bit unconventional, so I feel it's perfect. Sorry to tease you like that, but just look forward to the next one, which I promise will come in less than a month's time. Alright, so we have some recent questions. Let's get through them right now! This is so awesome. Samantha Powell asked me, have you read Ask King Sombra? No, I have not. I can already tell this is like some kind of Tumblr thing. I don't really do Tumblr, so I haven't, and I'll be honest, I don't have any strong desires to do so. Sorry about that. Another group of questions from Rosie Sievers? I'm so sorry if I mispronounced your name. Okay, first question. Have you seen Legend of Everfree, and if so, what are your thoughts? I actually have. I'm a person that doesn't care if something comes out early. I will watch it. And I don't care about spoilers, so I watched the leak of it. And I'll be honest, I found it really good. It's really amazing how these characters interact. It's similar to their pony counterparts, but also different. I swear, I love Sunset more and more with each new movie. I'm honestly starting to like her more than Twilight. I would elaborate further, but I still have a few more questions to get through. But with that said, here's the current roster when it comes to the EQD movies. Number 1 is still Rainbow Rocks. Just love that movie. Number 2 is Legends of Everfree. It's actually almost a tie, but Rainbow Rocks still just barely edges this movie out. Number 3 is Friendship Games, and number 4, coming at the rear, is the first one, but that's expected. A proper sequel gets better, not worse. Alright, her next question is, top 3 MLP episodes? What? You expect me to just know that at the top of my head? That's impossible for me. I'm a very detailed individual. I have a process. I have to go through each season, pick out which ones I like the best, weigh them out even further, list my reasons, then go into detailed paragraphs and grind my teeth for a whole week in trying to make up my mind, and no doubt will still cheat and have ties for third, second, and first place. To ask me to do anything but this process is an impossible task, madame. You'll just have to wait till I make that video. Third question, top 3 Steven Universe episodes. What did I just say? I must do my process for every show, no exceptions. Mindful education is the best, though. Best human, best gem, and Steven all together in one. What more could you possibly want? And finally, for Rosie's questions, if you went back in time, where would you go? I know I kind of answered it when I said time travel is a power I want, but, in all honesty, as much as I'd love to go back to just see everything before it was made, this is going to be lame, but I would go back and start over in middle school. They were by no means my glory years. So many awkward moments that I want to get rid of. And God, I hate PE and homework. But I wasn't the best student and was going through a lot of shit. I feel like if I went back now with the new drive, with all the knowledge I have now, I'd do so much better. It's funny, really. I feel smarter now after graduating than I did back in high school. Especially since I know what I want to do. In school, I kept doing things what other people wanted me to. I just kind of feel if I could, I would start earlier, But of course, I'd have to remember how I got into the fandom so that I could make my friends all over again. I did it once by accident. I'm sure I could do it again. Alright, these last set of questions are from Kevin Lego. How old are you and have you seen Cupcake's fanfic? Bit of a personal question right off the bat there, buddy. All I will say is that I am in my early 20s. As for Cupcakes, I have not, but I've seen the animations to know what it's about. Not my cup of tea. And finally, the last question of the video. Do you hate Starlight? I loved her in the premiere of Season 5, but then I did hate her at the finale for obvious reasons. However, in Season 6, I didn't hate her because I had time to process, but I didn't love her. I was kind of just annoyed by her presence. But after this finale, all I can say is that I'm about her. I don't love her, I don't hate her. I kind of like her, and I kind of don't. It's just that feeling you get. Maybe that will change, but I don't know. It's not even her backstory anymore. Okay, that's a lie. That is still a big part of it. I'm sorry, I just can't get over it. But also, they've made her so bland in various ways. I'm not entertained by her at all, in all honesty. Nor feel any attachments. She just feels mediocre to me at this point. And I'm sorry for all those that are fans of her. These are just my opinions, and I won't denounce you if you have other opinions. So, yeah, that's all I can say about her. She's just meh. Okay, so that is it. If I've missed a question by the time I've recorded this, I'm sorry. I did not think I was going to get, new questions all of a sudden. But I will try my best to answer them in the video if there are any. Or, you know what, I might just do another Q&A down the line. So there's still hope for you yet. Thank you again to all those that submitted your questions. I hope I, quenched your curiosity. Or at least you feel like you got to know me a little bit better. If not, hopefully seem a little more interesting. Again, I want to thank everybody so much. All my new subscribers. I can't wait to show you the next video. I'm going to warn this again. There's only one reference to Pony, but I hope you'll get a big bang out of it. That makes no sense, and I'm probably going to edit this out. Or not. You know what? I'm not going to edit it out. You're just all going to groan at me. Yes, fear my cringe. Okay, I think with that, it's time to end this video. So good night or good morning, whenever you watch this, and thank you for joining me. See you next time!